Hello, this video is meant to answer the question, who is the upcoming seminar on post-traumatic stress for? The easy answer might be to restrict this to war veterans. And while trauma is a common response to war, that's not the only context where people frequently experience trauma. Police and first responders who frequently come up on awful accidents and see atrocious situations are often traumatized by those experiences. The aftermath of natural disasters and terrorist attack can leave us traumatized. The assault, rape, and domestic violence faced by many can also be a traumatic experience. Children who are abused or face chronic neglect can express the symptoms of trauma. And so all of these things, we begin to see that the experience of trauma is a widely applicable subject, that many of those that we love and care about experience, and many of us ourselves have experienced things that would be traumatic. Now that begs the question of what is trauma? Trauma is simply something that is larger than we are prepared to deal with at the time that we're asked to go through it. And that begins to impact our emotions and our cognitive clarity and our sense of time in a negative way in the weeks and months that follow our traumatic experience. And often the symptoms of traumatic stress can leave us feeling very unsettled and maybe even crazy. There's the intrusive symptoms of nightmares and flashbacks and trigger responses to things in our environment. The constrictive responses of feeling numb and detached and like we want to withdraw. The hypervigilance of just always feeling like we have to guess what's going to go wrong next because the trauma jumped into our life without us expecting it, and we don't want to ever feel that way again. And this just leaves the individual feeling like they can't trust their mind or emotions anymore. Now, in this seminar, we're going to speak both to the individual who has experienced trauma and to the family and friends of that individual who want to be a good, loving support. Because counseling can be a wonderful asset, but a supportive family and friends, in many ways, is a far greater asset. Consider thinking of it this way. Imagine being stranded in the middle of the ocean. Counseling is like giving a life vest for 1 hour out of your 168-hour week. And for that hour, it's nice. But a supportive network of family and friends, that's like having a life raft that you can get into and can be there, and you don't feel like you're having to tread water for that entire period of time. Now you may ask, what is the structure of this seminar going to be like? What we'll do is use a 9-step format that seeks to identify how the gospel speaks to the experience of suffering, how God wants to offer comfort and relief for the experience of suffering. We'll look at how trauma affects the mind and body. We'll look at how to alleviate some of those things in a way that in a supportive role or through a mentoring relationship, that this kind of relief can be enacted in a one another kind of day-to-day friendship capacity. What I would want you to know is that God can and will provide relief in the midst of post-traumatic experiences. There is hope. And whether you're the person directly in need of that hope, or whether you're a family or friend who want to be an agent of that hope, I hope and pray that you'll come to our upcoming seminar on post-traumatic stress and begin to find how the gospel and the people of God can speak to and care for the subject of trauma. Thank you.